This is a part 3 of me going over Sir Oofington's series. Enjoy. So, King's Curse. Now, I'm gonna be honest, not very much really happens in Chapter 1. All that really happens in Chapter 1 is that the player and Georgie are playing at an arcade, and then they decide to leave, but then they get chased by Robbie, and then they escape. Anyways, Chapter 2. So Sir Oofington and Boy decide to go to a museum for a day off. It's also revealed that the player is literally the Prime Minister. Dang, that's crazy. Anyways, in this museum, they come across an open tomb. And yep, the player falls unconscious. And the player meets up with Mr. Stitchy. Now, due to the player's memory loss, the player doesn't remember who Mr. Stitchy is. And Mr. Stitchy reveals that he was the one who controlled Willow all this time, and that's why Willow was evil, I guess. And then the player wakes up. Anyways, Chapter 3. So, Doggy, Tigry, Mimi, and Pony head to an arsenal to find a radio. So, they get to the radio and Tigry explains that they have developed a cure. So, the military agrees to meet up with them. And then they go back to base, so then they can report this situation to the player. So, in Chapter 4, the group goes to a subway, and the group gets onto the train. So, in Chapter 5, the group makes it to a skyscraper. So, the player and Boy clear the path to the roof for the others that are outside. So, they get to the roof, and they meet up with... Now, this character's name, I'm not going to say his name because I'm not going to give any attention to this person because this person is absolutely horrible. If you didn't know already, this certain person that I'm talking about was basically in a drama with me and Enderwave and a bunch of other people. I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to go too deep into the drama because I don't want to give this guy attention. The funniest part of this situation is the fact that this character is literally a freaking villain. Anyways, after the player gets betrayed, he gets saved by Budgie. Anyways, the player takes the ship to the derrick, and he meets up with Boy. And then they decide to go to the Lucena ruins to look more into those insolent eyes. Meanwhile, in Chapter 8, the theatre, Zizzy, Pony, and Giraffe are at a theatre. Oh, and Willow's there as well. I'm also guessing that Felix was corrupted by the insolence, probably. Anyways, they save Felix, and the four decide to go to a safe place. But then it turns out that one of those soldiers was spying on them. Anyways, the others decide to head to the ruins place to figure out stuff about the insolence. So Willow brings Felix, Zizzy, and Giraffe to an observatory, because there is a telescope there. But then, they get caught by some of the guards, and Pandy captures them. Anyways, Tigry, Doggy, Mimi, Georgie, and Bunny make it to Lucella ruins. Anyways, Tigry manages to find the tomb area, and he also finds the player. It also turns out that, pretty much already established before, that the soldiers turned evil. But it turns out that Boy is in danger and got attacked by something. So Boy decides to lock himself in a room to keep himself safe, while the player Doggy and Mimi go and save him. And then they find Boy. But then the player and Boy notice outside of the window there are tanks. And then they go track down the character that betrayed him. Anyways, they meet up with the bad guy. Alright, so the player, with the help of Doggy, Mimi, and I think Boy, fights the bad guy. And they basically win. But then the player falls unconscious and wakes up in the insolence world. And he finds Mr. Stitchy. So the player and Mr. Stitchy fight. And with the help of Boy, they defeat him. And before the player goes, the player wants to know something from him. It turns out that the creature was one of the beings that King Inso executed 1,000 years ago. So King Inso made a deal with the creature which used powers for good. Turns out that that creature was the one who's talking about this all along. It is also revealed that King Inso would be reborn in 1,000 years with no memory into the player. Turns out that King Inso was Oofy all along. The player was the reason why this creature could do all this stuff all along. And then the player leaves the insolence realm and wakes up back to reality. The end. Oh, never mind. Yeah, I'm not gonna compile these mini-series of videos into a full-on movie yet. I'm gonna wait until the DLC has come out first, and then make a video on that.